Ford has unveiled its latest weapon in its battle to regain market leadership. The company is banking on the AU Falcon boosting sales both at home and abroad.
It's September 1998. Ford Australia rolls out the AU Falcon, the sixth generation of its iconic sedan. It was meant to launch the Falcon into the new millennium. Instead, it became one of Ford's most debated cars ever. In this video, we'll cover how it was built, why it sparked controversy, how it sold, its standout models, and what people think of it today. Let's get into it. The AU Falcon story kicks off in February 1993 with Project Eagle. By October 1994, it's called EA169. Ford Australia invests a massive $700 million to create a true blue Aussie car. They considered importing models like the Ford Taurus or Crown Victoria, even the Scorpio or Mazda 929, but those wouldn't cut it. Aussies wanted big towing power. 69% of Falcons had tow bars, plus roomy interiors and rear-wheel drive for stability. Importing would also hurt local jobs, so Ford stuck with the homegrown Falcon. The AU Falcon used a new platform, EA169, which lasted until the BF wagon in 2010, and shaped the Ford territory until 2011. It was 17.5% stiffer than the old EL Falcon, 35 kilos lighter, and 8% more fuel efficient. Aerodynamics improved too. Sedans had a drag coefficient of 0.295, 11% better than before. Wagons hit 0.34, solid for a big car. And engines? Well, there were plenty of options. The base 4-litre Intech 6-cylinder gave 157 kilowatts and 357 newton meters. Higher trims like the XR6 bumped up to 164 kilowatts. The XR6 VCT and the Fairmont gear hit 172 with variable cam timing. V8 fans got a 5-litre Windsor starting at 175 kilowatts and 395 newton meters. The XR8 pushed 185 kilowatts, while Tickford's hand-built versions reached 200 kilowatts. Their top T3 series Stroker V8 are basically 250 kilowatts and 500 newton meters. You could pick a 4-speed auto with smart shifting or a 5-speed manual. The T-Series even had steering wheel gear buttons. Suspension was a big deal. Top models like the Fairmont gear, XR6 VCT, and the XR8 got independent rear suspension, a double wishbone setup. It was optional on others, putting Ford ahead of Holden, who lagged on IRS. Safety included a driver's airbag on base models from launch. Series 2 added dual front airbags across the range and seatbelt pre-tensioners. The lineup covered everything. The Forte started at $30,690. Then you had the Futura, S, luxury Fairmont, and Ghia, and the sporty XR6 and XR8. Wagons were available from launch in September 1998. Utes arrived in June 1999. Loved by tradies for their custom trays, including XR6 and XR8 performance variants from the start. Tickford's TE50 V8 sedan and TS50 V8 sedan launched in July 1999, with the rare TL50 later. These were hand-built for performance nuts. And Ford's slogan, "You've come a long way, baby." They called it dramatically different, but the difference caused trouble. The AU's look came from Ford's global New Edge style, led by designer Steve Park and interior manager Marcus Hotblack. Think sharp edges, rounded headlights, and a waterfall grille on base models. And the dashboard? Full of oval shapes. It was bold and futuristic for the late 90s, but Aussies didn't like it. They were used to boxy Falcons or the sleek VT Commodore from 1997. The AU got slammed. People called it their anteater or droop snoot. Media like Wheels magazine tore into it. Drive called it a $700 million flop. The interior didn't help. Light grey plastics looked cheap, and noise and vibration were issues early on, and fleet buyers, which made up 80% of Falcon sales, and private owners turned away. They preferred the VT Commodore's polished and modern design. The AU's radical style aimed for younger buyers, but it missed the mark in a market that valued familiarity. The AU struggled out the gate. In 1999, its first full year, Ford sold about 94,000 units, part of roughly 130,000 Series 1 cars built from mid-1998 to early 2000. The VT Commodore, it sold over 110,000 units that year. Compare that to the Falcon's peak of 15.3% market share in 1987, down to 12.7% in 1995, its last year as Australia's top seller. From 1998 to 2002, Ford built around 320,000 AUs, about 130,000 for Series 1 and 190,000 for Series 2 and 3 combined. So why the drop? Well, styling hurt for sure, but the large car market was shrinking as SUVs rose. Fleet pricing changes didn't help either, and the AU never matched the AU Falcon's numbers, earning it flop status. But Ford fought back. The Series 2, out in April 2000, fixed the grille, cut noise, added dual airbags, and used darker plastics. Series 3, out in November 2001, brought standard ABS, body-coloured trim, and special editions like the SR and V8 Pursuit. In V8 supercars, the AU raced from 1999 to 2002, winning 23 out of 125 races. Drivers like Glenn Seton and Craig Lowndes scored podiums, but no championships or Bathurst 1000 wins. Rules were tweaked to balance competition with Holden. By 2002, Ford rushed out the BA Falcon to recover. The AU had highlights. The XR6 VCT and XR8 handled better than the Commodore, especially with IRS. Journalists loved their balanced chassis. The Intex 6-cylinder was a workhorse, nearly unkillable with care, and could tow up to 2,300 kilos. Tickford's T-Series, like the TE50 sedan and the TS50, were rare gems. Their hand-built V8s and premium brakes make them a collectible today. Series 2 added LPG options for fleets, with big 92-litre sedan tanks or 115-litre wagon tanks. Back then, the AU was a punchline, the ugly duckling next to the Commodore. Used prices tanked. You could grab one for under $5,000. But in 2025, it's different. Enthusiasts call it a hidden gem. The Intex engines, durability, and cheap maintenance win fans. Used prices start at $7,500 to $9,000 on carsales.com. XR8s and Tickfords can hit $15,000 or more for clean ones. The styling's ironic coolness draws younger drivers and modifiers. Online groups and YouTube reviews call it misunderstood, or Australia's do-anything bargain car. The AU laid the groundwork for the BA Falcon, which set sales records in 2003. It's now a cult classic. The Ford AU Falcon was a risky move that didn't pay off at the time. Its bold design and tough competition from the Holden VT Commodore held it back. But its engineering was solid, and over 25 years later, it's earning respect as a piece of Aussie automotive history. If you enjoyed this dive into the AU Falcon's history, share your stories with the car in the comments below. Otherwise, hit subscribe and like for more. Thanks for watching.